Well, hi again, guys. Welcome to DENT Station, episode 9. Timetable sequence from 1300 hours to, I'm going to try and squeeze it into 1500 hours. There's only 3 trains in an up direction for the first hour, but that won't take long, will it? A bit mixed in the second hour, up and down, which should be okay. Bit of interest there. Right, okay, there's not much done with little bits and bobs I've been up to. A few other things to see to around the house. The car went wrong, the usual. Life during lockdown, bit of a pain. But we'll get the first train of the day going, which is the 1M88. And it's, I tell a lie, it's the 1M86. It's the southbound Thames Clyde Express. Left Glasgow at 0920 hours, and it passes through DENT around 1312. And today it's got one of the stalwarts of Holbeck Depot, a peak at the head of it, D55 Royal Signals. Okay, so we'll get that on the road for you. In the background there'll be some train sounds, just to give it a bit of ambience as usual. They don't match what's happening, but better than just pure silence or listening to me. So here we go then. So it's the 1M86 southbound Thames Clyde. Thank you. See you. Now this is a Carlisle to Leeds service held by Jubilee 45682 Balga. Probably one of my oldest locomotives, this. So the next working is a Class 8 mineral. It's the X0820 from Brindle Heath, Birmingham to Carlisle. Passes DENT around 1430. It's booked for a Class 8F. Today we have XWD 90566 heavy freight 280 Class 8. For anyone who knows about the old Hornby wagons with North stand and balsa over on them, I used to belong to a model railway club and they had a stack of these through the shop, and I bought something like 35 of them over the years I was there. Resprayed them all, the transfers, not all separate numbers, new wheels. And the most important thing, they got rid of those massive couplings that Hornby put on, and I developed my own etch. They're okay for running as a train, they're no use for shunting. I'll show you that now. Right, I said I'd show you the coupling etch. So these are a pair of wagons, and as I say, these cost me about £2 to £3 per wagon. That was a good few years ago, in the 90s. All second hand from the model railway club I was in. They were painted Hornby's, be a dark blue for north stand, or a maroon colour with Bolsover written on the side. Got rid of all that with a bit of brake fluid. Got to be .3 brake fluid, not .4. Doesn't work with .4. Took all the transfers off, washed them, repainted them into BR Mineral Wagon Grey. Applied transfers with the diagonal stripe for the loading door, and all the numbers were all individual from different transfer sheets, Model Master I believe they were. Proper coal load. There's about 35 of them, and they do make an impressive train when I decide to put them all together, and the 9F holds them quite well. The other thing I did is the Hornby had some massive wheels, not very effective on this fine scale track, so the wheels have all been changed for the latest style. So this is the type with the split axle. They work okay. The axles occasionally move, but it still does the job. And these are the ones with the fixed axle. It was just a case of what I had in, I used. And if those other ones go wrong, then I'll change them. But up to now, I've had no problems. Now as for the coupling is a simple little etched fret. It is loose, it's just meant to swing, there's no restraint on it. So it's done like an instanter coupling. And it's fixed at this end with a little 8BA bolt, I think it was, and at the other end it is just a 1/8 diameter peg, or a 3mm peg, whatever you can get, sort of peg, tube, whatever you can get. So when the two come together, you've got your coupling at that end. Trying to get this right for you chaps. The coupling's at that end, and your pegs at that end. So when you bring the two together, there you have what looks like an instanter coupling when it's being dragged along. Obviously you can't shunt with them, they're just for fixed rakes. So these are the etches. That one is for a screw coupling, and the reason I had that one done, they were to replace the old Lima coaches. I've still got some Lima coaches with parcels bodies, and I haven't got any passenger stock left. But Lima made some parcel stock that's not currently available in the ready to run market. So why not use them? Change the bogies if required, or whatever's required. And then the couplings were always a nightmare on Lima, old Hornby. They were so big it was unbelievable. So they've come off, just snip them off, tidy up the bogie, change the wheels, and then fit the screw links onto those. And then on this etch you've got the instanter just there at the bottom. So the bottom section there is all instanter, and the top are more of the screw coupling. The company that made these are called 4D Models, and based in London. Now those two etches, I'm just going to move this so you can perhaps see it a bit clearer. Sorry about all this. Right, those two etches, they cost about £40 odd to have done. So you send them a basic drawing and they'll prepare and etch the metal to suit your requirements. Probably more expensive than buying bags of couplings, perhaps not, I don't know. And rather than paint them, I use this brass black. Get it in most of the model shops, you know, Eileen's Emporium, Todd Modern Models, places like that. Just give it a couple of coats of that, tons of brass, nickel, silver, whatever, into a typical railway colour, brown mess. And then you've got, when the two wagons are coupled up, a bit unwieldy working a camera like this. When the two couplings are married up, so you've got the peg there into the receiver, and you've got a bit of a scale length. You can adjust that just by pushing them together. You can adjust the gap. So if you don't have tight curves, you can have a really close coupling like that. If you have tight curves, you have to stretch it a little bit. But when you look at the bottom, I'm just going to unscrew this tripod because that's what's giving me the grief. Let's give it a sec. Sorry about all this messing. Right. Now when you look underneath, it sort of simulates a coupling. And I think it looks pretty effective. So there you go. That's the Instanter 3-link style coupling in motion. So I can't do any more filming because I've just looked at the battery level. It's getting low, and if I want to transfer these and get them on tonight, then I'll have to stop where I am. So the timetable will be split, so perhaps I'll finish that one off next week and add a bit of the next. So we'll see how we go, guys. But thanks for watching, and if you've got any likes or anything, most appreciative. Take care now and stay safe. Bye now.